We are here at the Verde Canyon Railroad. We're going to take a little excursion. It's a 4-hour trip, 2 hours out, 2 hours back. Lily does not know yet. This is her surprise. Have you figured it out yet?
Well, I know we're going on a train.
Yep. The Wittenberg car we're on. There's the Yuma, Sedona. Getting ready to board the train and it's starting to hail.
Everyone over here, I just want to let you know we start boarding in about 10 minutes. You're okay to hang out under here until then. If you're on the Jerome, Flagstaff, or Wittenberg, we all board from the same spot on the Wittenberg car, right at that silver staircase at 12:45.
Got some good hail coming down. Wow, this is nice. At least it's warm in here.
You are so kind. You think of me so nicely.
Giant black nails you might have seen on the way in. Slag is a byproduct of the smelting process, where they heat ore up to about 2,500 degrees. That slag rises to the top and they skim it. When they skim it, it is still in molten form. So you'll see a bunch of grooves in the side of the wall pass by from the corrugated fence line and it's poured again. There's 45 acres of slag, and there is still said to be $10 billion worth of precious metals inside. Wow. There's a slag recovery project that came here in the 90s.
They drive their animals here, use ditches to corral them here and shoot down bows and arrows, and then store them in the food storage, which is back into the mist on the way in.
There's another picture of the train. Look over by Ryan's or Jimmy's side.
Pictures on the right of the train.
Oh, there they are. Bald Eagle?
There's the caboose.
There's the caboose right there.
There's the SOB bridge. Are you enjoying the ride?
Oh, I love this ride. I love it.
You probably already know what that means. eventually it will choke them out till they're dead. I often get asked, why don't we just get rid of it? It's basically impossible. Even though that is in the branch of the tree, those roots go all the way down that tree to the roots of that tree to steal from the source of its water. If you were to cut that tree in half, it would just regrow from the roots inside.
You ever saw anything?
Now that wild mistletoe also spreads rapidly, mainly by birds. Birds will
Camp right over here or something.
This would be a great spot to fish right here. Right up there.
Now you may have already noticed this, but here in the Verde Canyon we have two different types of white bark trees. The ones you see right next to the Verde River I mentioned earlier, the cottonwood tree. They grow very straight and very tall. They get their name because they produce a softball-sized wad of pollen, and many of them. If you're here during the season, it is snowing through this area with that pollen. They love water. That tree can drink up to 100 gallons of water a day. So they are always found next to water. The other white bark trees, good examples here to our right. They are very crazy, scraggly looking branches. These are called a sycamore tree. They grow very, very slow. In 4 years, they will grow about 1.5 inches. So a great example of a very old one is coming up to our right. This tree has to be over at least 150 years old. So that is a sycamore, everyone. These trees are also kind of annoying to clean up. Every 2 years, they shed their bark entirely. Now on our right-hand side, it's a little more difficult to see today because of the rain, but on top of this mountain to our right, in the top middle, there's a very large white spot. So that is actually another deposit of calcite. Out here, we have a certain type of tree, a cypress, that acts as a lightning rod tree. Drinks a lot of minerals from the ground, such as iron that's within the rock. That tree was struck by lightning. The water evaporated, leaving the calcite left over. So we do have limestone deposits here as well, but that is calcite. The limestone will be in layers because this was the ocean bed. Limestone can only be formed at the bottom of the ocean. The ocean came and receded 7 different times through this area.
Lily.
Now everyone, on our right-hand side, you'll notice a lot of areas that look like rock falls or landslides. But that's actually not what they are. These are waterfalls during monsoon seasons. They only flow during monsoons. It would have to absolutely downpour for about 4 days and 4 nights straight, and the day of the train, for these areas to be flowing with water. We are not talking about a nice waterfall. It is raging over that mountain, and it's dark brown. Now coming up on our right, we are passing another historical rock. If you missed it on the 2 on the way in, these were named by the railmen. So they named this canyon President's Canyon. We will see one of our presidents, Abraham Lincoln. So he's holding in view when we are side profile this canyon. Notice the hill inside the canyon, full of trees, with that rock that's broken in half. Follow those trees all the way up to where they stop. Halfway up on the right, there's a side profile of a gentleman with a very large forehead, with a tree on the top, and a very prominent nose. The clouds are the background.
See him?
This area was a little wider out there. But like there's the west we walked through we passed over on, it was probably that tall. The area was narrow.
Oh, there. I think that was it. Oh, there's another one. That's a cool cave.
Historical rock. It's on the top of the nose to our right. That one little thing that will fall off. If you see it, you know what it's called. This is our Turtle Rock, everyone.
Turtle Rock.
While we go through it, everyone, I want to hear you say go, go!
Look at that.
Everyone get ready, look straight up, and you see the beautiful views above our train. We call those the
Up there.
Howling Coyote Views. Oh wow!
Look up. Back here.
Now I always love pointing out after we went through that tunnel, and that is the only part of this track that was not built by Chinese immigrants. It was built by Swedish men. Because in the 1900s, the Swedes had the best architects engineers for our time. That's a completely curved tunnel. They built it from each end, and they met in the middle. Going through building tunnels, that's very impressive. They were paid very well for what they did. It was so well built, it did not need any structural support. Because the last 30 feet is a freestanding tunnel. Most of that tunnel.
Oh, the sun's out over there.
Also, halfway through my story, I'm going to stop and pause because our engines will be right there on that track, going to hook up to our caboose and then drag us back. So during that time, our conductors and engineers, they'll be hanging up the side. If you want to high five them, they absolutely love it. And their favorite drink is Dr. Pepper, everyone. Yeah. With Dr. James A. Douglas Sr. He was sent to evaluate the mining claims of Jerome Mining Town. So he actually owned other mining claims and ran them remotely, which is very difficult. So he was trusted to go evaluate Jerome. When he got there, he was appalled with what he saw up in Jerome by three major things. The first thing was there were no roads yet up to Jerome, 5,000 feet above sea level. So him and his crew had to hike up that mountain with all of their materials to evaluate the mines, which is very difficult to do. Second thing they noticed is that the mining claims that were supposed to be purchased in that town, no one purchased them. People were hiking up that mountain and mining the ore illegally. Very illegal. Third thing you noticed is that the closest railroad at the time was in Pueblo, Colorado. No way to move anything in or out of Jerome mining town. So his advice to any investor was to stay away from the area. You'd be losing your money. In 1882 is when the first 2 roads were built up to Jerome. These were burro-drawn wooden wagon roads, hauling very heavy materials up and down that mountain to pause. So I am going to pause everyone at that horrible statement because our engines are coming by.
High fives, high fives.
Let's Hayden hang off the side. The first engine is an FB7 engine, 1510. Second one, FB7, 2164. Did anyone notice what was at the bottom front of that first engine? Yes, a snowplow. Yes, everyone, Arizona does get snow. Let's look at that. Empty mansion. It goes to the great details on the right. So, this soul building is up to the end of the book. Everyone takes it, nobody's listening. Stop and go. Check out here. We have all these cars out here.
Got good blue sky now.
Oh, yeah.
the Verde River down there. So this is a pretty awesome, very informative trip. Through the whole 2-hour trip, it's non-stop commentary. They tell you everything. You can learn everything about all the surrounding towns, the town of Jerome, why it's there, how, why, when, everything. So much information packed into this trip.
The basalt rolls up in columns. This has only happened in the world in 6 other places. And you get to see most of the train in front of it. Good photo opportunity, like right now.
Oh, it's the same over here in the back here.
You get the water, you get the Sycamore Canyon